Jenelle Evans' son Jace has recently run away twice in just 2 weeks. Both times he was thankfully found safe, but what's really been going on lately that's causing him to repeatedly run away? The real reasons why Jace has been trying to run away more often than ever are seriously shocking, so let's break it down. Earlier this year, Jenelle's mother, Barbara Evans, signed custody of Jace back over to Jenelle. After that, Jace moved in with Jenelle and her very controversial husband, David Eason. In the past, Barbara has occasionally mentioned Jace's behavioral issues, but in the last few weeks, it seemed like the amount of times he's tried to run away has definitely increased. One possible reason for that could be due to his extremely bizarre situation. Until Jace moved in with his mom and David, he had spent nearly all 14 years of his life being raised by Barbara. He had been living with her since he was a baby. That means he's only had 6 months to adjust to his new home life, which honestly sounds pretty unstable. Anybody who keeps up with Jenelle knows that she and David have always had a ridiculously unhealthy marriage. In the last several weeks, they've been making shady accusations about each other on social media, and what that means for their kids is truly unbelievable. The children that Jenelle and David have living in their house are Jace, Kasia, Ensley, and sometimes Marisa. Sadly, the kids probably never know what to expect at home because of how up and down their parents are. What's happened on David and Jenelle's property in the past is downright shocking. Between Jenelle's mood swings and David's scary, unpredictable behavior, their home life sounds insanely toxic. Both of them have struggled to keep or regain custody of their kids in the past because of their dangerous behavior.
My husband, he just assaulted me, and he pinned me down.
In 2019, David allegedly ended the life of one of the family's dogs in a very cruel way. Afterward, both Jenelle and David lost custody of all of their children temporarily, but according to what TMZ reported, the safety of more than just the family pets was at risk. Between June 2018 and June 2019, there were 25 emergency calls made from either Jenelle or David or about the welfare of their kids. Although she since denied it, one of those was a terrifying call for help from Jenelle. In the audio from one of the emergency calls, Jenelle claimed that David had just physically harmed her, and that wasn't the first time he got accused of similar actions either. David doesn't even have custody of his 9-year-old son Caden and is rarely ever allowed to see him. After he allegedly harmed the boy's mother Olivia while she was pregnant, she filed a restraining order against him, but that's not all. David has also been arrested for reportedly harming his other ex-girlfriends in the past. That doesn't exactly say much for David and Jenelle's home life. How can anyone expect them to provide their kids with stability and safety when they've repeatedly done the total opposite? I can't imagine how difficult that's been for Jace to try to adjust to. It's possible that after seeing how crazy things are between David and Jenelle, Jace decided to take off. But there's another reason that might explain why he's been running away, and it's really heartbreaking. I highly doubt that Jace's friends' parents allow their children to visit Jenelle and David's home due to their toxic drama. Not to mention their property is really isolated and can't even be seen from the road. Maybe Jace has been running away because of how lonely he is there. But if what Barbara recently said is true, it must be even harder for Jace to deal with everyday life at his mom and David's house. This is honestly unreal. According to what Barbara told TMZ a few weeks ago, Jenelle took Jace off his ADHD medication once he moved in with her. The meds had reportedly been helping him manage his symptoms for the last 7 years, so living without them must be incredibly challenging. Apparently, Jace had also been having regular therapy sessions with a behavior specialist, but Barbara claimed that Jenelle stopped taking him to those appointments as well. What she revealed about the impact that's had on Jace is absolutely terrible. Barbara admitted that she believed Jace ran away because he's no longer seeing his behavior specialist or taking his ADHD medication. And considering what the most common symptoms are in teens with ADHD, Barbara's theory makes a lot of sense. ADHD symptoms in teens include poor decision making, impulsivity, trouble with concentration, and lack of emotional regulation. It sounds like Jace could be going through a really tough time. But for some strange reason, Jenelle has been against him getting help for his ADHD from the time he was diagnosed. In a season 8 episode of Teen Mom 2, Jenelle refused to give Jace Jace his meds for the weekend because he had supposedly been acting fine. But ADHD meds can help increase a person's ability to process information, pay attention, and control their emotions. When someone goes without their regular ADHD meds, they can seriously struggle with intense mood changes and depression. Poor Jace could be facing mental obstacles every day that he normally wouldn't just because of Jenelle's alarming decision. Jace's untreated ADHD and his unstable home life could also potentially be causing him to struggle in school. In turn, he might be running away lately because of problems at school. What allegedly happened before he ran away the first time was so bizarre. The police report from the incident stated that the principal at Jace's school was the first person to call 911 about him running away. He had reportedly gotten into an argument with one of his teachers before he took off, but not everyone is convinced that that's the whole story. Some people have speculated that while Jace may have been having issues at school, he actually ran away because of his mom's husband. David had supposedly been at the school that afternoon for a meeting to discuss Jace's behavior, but instead of going home with David after the meeting, Jace ran off and hid in the woods behind the school. Obviously, we don't know the truth, but it's hard not to speculate about what he was thinking or worried about regarding David. But in Jenelle's opinion, the reason why Jace has been running away is pretty normal. In one of Jenelle's latest TikToks, she said that it's not fair for people to blame her and David for Jace running away. She claimed that his behavioral issue had been going on since before he moved in with her.
My son has been having a hard time for the past 2-3 years.
Even though that might be true, there's obviously a reason why he's been running away so often. But Jenelle doubled down on her story from when Jace ran away the first time.
Too lightly, and sometimes kids get really mad about their phones if you take them away.
What's really odd is that the police report from that incident stated that Jace has been found thanks to the GPS location from his Snapchat account. That's why a lot of people were calling Jenelle a liar for claiming that she'd taken Jace's phone away. Jenelle also hinted about the reason why Jace's phone had supposedly been taken away.
I will say one thing: monitor your kids' phones.
It sounds like she may have found something while checking Jace's phone that led her to take it temporarily. Apparently, the same app that reportedly helped authorities locate him is the same one that's been causing trouble in Jenelle's eyes.
If they're teenagers and they have apps that are on Snapchat, Snapchat's a bad one.
Jenelle recently reposted a video to her Facebook story that stressed the importance of going through your child's phone daily. It's impossible to know the full story of what happened with Jace's phone or why he's been running away so much lately, but unfortunately it looks like things could be getting more challenging in his family. Jenelle recently cut off contact with Barbara again and actually tried to file a restraining order against her. If she decides to not let Jace communicate with Barbara either, it sadly wouldn't be the first time. It's devastating that Jace has been feeling the need to run away so much lately. It could honestly be due to his tense home life, his mental health, and potentially problems at school or just typical teenage behavior. But no matter what the real reason is, hopefully things somehow get better for him soon. But now that we've talked about the possible reasons why Jace has recently been running away, I'm curious, what do you guys think the real reason could be? What are your thoughts on Barbara's claim that Jenelle took Jace off his ADHD meds and stopped bringing him to therapy? Let me know in the comments below.